Humbletalk Podcast, episode 14. It's your boy Feast. Quick update on Carly Russell. She got charged, y'all. She got charged. But
ain't no competition, cause I do this, I can get it with my old, don't gotta buy.
But it's only 2 misdemeanors. So take it for what you will. They say the maximum amount of time she can serve is 12 months in jail. And as y'all heard in the last video, if you've been paying attention, sounded about right. It sounded like the judge took those dice, threw them against the wall, snapped at the end, and it came out 2 6s, right? 12 months. Hey, now here's the problem. She probably won't get that. She'll probably plea out to something a lot lesser, right? Because here's the thing, like, if you thought that you were going to go to jail for faking a kidnapping, you would have just not been kidnapped. Because if you wanted the attention, now you got the attention, right? This is because of quote unquote the attention that you came back. You didn't think it was going to be that big. So now that you continuously getting this attention, I take it that she's gonna plea out, find something else a lot lesser to deal with, and then go on about her business. Take a fine, because I believe there's like a fine attached to it and things like that too. She'll take the fines, probably some community service, no less than 3 months is what I'm calling it, and then going about your business. But the issue I have with the situation is the money that was raised still isn't getting refunded back to the people who gave to her cause, or what was believed to be her cause. I do think that civilly somebody should be liable, and I think that if I know any better, there's people behind the scenes trying to figure out who's liable and who needs to be talked to a certain type of way to make sure that this stuff gets taken care of, so there ain't no issues going forward. But that's just my opinion. I digress. We'll keep an eye on this thing as it goes, and we'll see what happens. Quick little thing about the NBA. Jaylen Brown just signed the biggest contract in NBA history. Don't know why he got that contract. Obviously, the fact that he was the next guy up, and people seem to think that he's somebody important. For a guy who can't seem to dribble a basketball in a city that's as racist as Boston, and for a guy who seemingly don't want to be there, it's a very interesting piece of a puzzle that just don't seem to fit. I don't think, in my opinion, that like he finishes his career there. Of course, I think after a couple of years, they get him up out of there and they get some other pieces in. Jason Tatum is 100% the best player on that team. It's not even close. And to be quite honest with you, up until they got rid of Marcus Smart, I could kind of make the argument that Jaylen Brown wasn't the second best player overall. He may score a ball better, yeah, but he may not be the best overall basketball player. So, again, that's another thing, because next summer, as they're saying, Jason Tatum is supposed to get his raise. Well, they're talking about having $600 million tied up between two players. It's never happened. $600 million in two basketball players. One that may actually deserve the money, and the other one is Jaylen Brown. Well, I'm not knocking his hustle. Get your money, big dog. Like, again, like I said, those pieces just don't seem to fit. And with that being the case, if we just handing out money, I mean, I ain't 6 foot something, but I'm pouring some concrete and putting some lines in my backyard and throwing the basketball hoop up might be the thing. Like, I mean, it's not baseball money, don't get me wrong, but I mean, man, like, for a guy who can't dribble a basketball to get $300 million, dog, is... and the other part of that is he's not getting the whole $300 million, right? Like, of course, he's got people to pay, taxes, all that stuff. So it's probably getting close to like 2, maybe almost 2, once it's all broken down, depending on how high the taxes are in Boston and all that type of stuff. But still, like, for a guy who can't dribble basketball, though, like, I mean, I will always contend, this is just me, the highest paid athletes should be football players. This is just me. I may be, as a football player, I may be a little jaded on this opinion, but the amount of wear and tear your body goes through, the amount of things that happen to your body over long term. I just think if you're going to pay people, they should be football players. They should be in the mix somewhere. Like to have one basketball player making $300 million, to have a baseball player making $300 million, $400 million is kind of outrageous to me. Be it that there's not much contact involved, you know, a lot of basketball injuries, a lot of baseball injuries. Not all, but a lot. Some of these things like non-contact. You're just running around, right? Or you hit a wall, like you're not hitting people. You know what I'm saying? Like we've come across this whole CTE era. We've come across this whole thing of, football health that the league was hiding and all this other type of stuff, and these guys committing suicide and all this stuff. And we came across all these things, right? Like the NFL healthcare was horrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things that have been going on. I just feel like, yeah, there's more guys on the roster. I get that. Yeah, there is a lot of guys like practice squad guys. Like there's a bunch of guys that are all a part of making these teams what they are, and I understand it's different in other sports. I get it, but $300 million to dribble a basketball, like with very little, I won't say none, but very little danger to your actual health, like right, like long term, other than like I said, little short injuries here and there, whatever the case may be. Like if they were playing back in the day, maybe I might feel a little bit different about it, right? Bad boy Pistons days, you know what I'm saying? Like those old Celtics, Parrish, McHale, you know what I mean? When they clotheslining guys through the lane, elbowing guys, throwing punches, like real deal punches, like maybe I might feel a little bit different. But like this isn't the game that's played now. Everything that's physical has been legislated out of the game. And so with that being the case, I just can't understand $300 million to dribble basketball. I just can't. Not hating. Not hating. I just can't. I just can't understand it for me personally. You know what I'm saying? But it's not for me, right? It's not for public consumption. I mean, they, by all means, they gonna give you the money, take the money. I'm not mad at you. Somebody offered me $300 million to go pick up trash. Guess what? Like without a shirt on or pants. Guess what I'm about to go do for $300 million? Like that indecent exposure ticket, I'll pay. Don't worry about that. I don't worry about that. I'll figure a way around that. Don't worry about it. I'm about to go pick up that trash. That's just how I go. So, like I said, it's no hate. I understand. Get your bread, bro. But yeah, I don't know. There's an issue away from all of that stuff that I've been talking about that came to my attention. I just felt like it was incumbent upon me to kind of bring it up, and I just feel like I don't know. It's 10 o'clock, my time. And I kind of been sitting on it for a little bit, and some other things have kind of came across me, and I just kind of felt like it's something for me to kind of just have a conversation about real quick. Get on, get off, leave y'all to y'all's evening, and let me do what I got to do about mine. So before I get to it, shout to my cousin Craig, shout to my homie Max. This actually came from them. My cousin actually a couple weeks ago, he had put up a message, or he had put up a message on the internet, and it was speaking about, something about people acting a certain type of way, and they not really like that. Like that meaning anything that they're not, that they portray to be on the internet, things like that. It troubled me for a second, and then I understood it for a second. And here's why. So, again, me not being from here, I'm not used to people being like internet people, right? Like I'm not used to sitting on the internet all day. I'm not used to like having to deal with like internet tough shit. I'm not used to having to deal with like people being on their feelings on the internet. Like I don't like texting people because like it's hard to figure out what somebody's emotional space is through a text message. Now, the other part of that too is like I'm not a phone talker either. So like if you call me, I mean we can talk on the phone, but like at some point, unless I really rock with you super heavy, I'm gonna run out of stuff to talk about. Because every conversation ain't for everybody, right? But I do run into these situations very often where I talk to people and they're like, yeah, so and so said this on the internet, or so and so them are acting like this. And this could be online or offline. Like, there's a lot of people out here walking around, like, portraying this image that they just super tough or super about that action or super whatever. And while I do enjoy the entertainment, I think that like there's like some identity crisis going on for real. I think that the world has created this environment where like people feel like they gotta portray this image in order to like be respected or to be liked or to be whatever, feared or whatever it is that they want. And I think that's flawed. I think that a lot of people have been duped with this idea that this is how it's supposed to go, and it's not supposed to go like that, right? Like, me personally, and I can't speak for anybody else. Me personally, I don't care if you play in a band. I don't care if you work for the city. I don't care if you pick up trash. I don't care if you work from home. I don't care if you don't got a job. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't care, right? This is my only caveat, and this is just for me. It's my only caveat. When you come around me, be you. That's my only caveat. If you come around me and I notice that you're extra around me, you ain't gonna have to leave. I'll find me something to do. Because at some point, somebody around here, or maybe somebody not around here, we're gonna be somewhere, and somebody's gonna test that level of bat it that you're with. It's so crazy because the last video I just spoke about, one of my homies, what we called him Kevin, who got his throat cut in a situation where, hey, like, he got into a fist fight over some money that was owed to him, justifiably so. He felt the way about the money that was owed to him, but the guy that owed him money wasn't about it like that. Like, he wasn't that guy. Like, he was more afraid than he was about it like that. And because of that, my homie almost died. Right? So many times this story comes back up. So many times. There's so many issues that stem from the idea that, hey, y'all not really like that. Y'all are emotional about something, and because you're emotional about something, you feel the need, or y'all feel the need to like try to portray something to like people that don't really care about you. Like, let me be clear about what I'm trying to say. Like, the people you're trying to impress on this internet in the moment, trying to be away, or even a person trying to be away, when it hit the fan, these same people that you're trying to impress ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna pull their phones out and they're gonna record you. Whatever issue you getting in that moment, they're gonna record it and they're gonna post it. These same people that you trying to impress, because they really cared about you, they'd go, man, that ain't worth it. Come on, find something else to do. Or let's sit down and talk about it. I'm 35. Like, if we can't sit and have a conversation like grown-ups about whatever the issue is, I don't want to be around you. I'm cool. Because what you're not going to do is, like, test my gangster some type of way, and then I end up doing something to you that you never saw coming because you thought it was sweet. You thought, like, oh, okay, hey, Feet's cool. He always chilling. He don't bother people. Hey, he don't yell. He don't, you know what I mean? He don't argue. Hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to test him to see what happens. Okay, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Test it, see what happens. And then when it all hits the fan, it just is what it is, right? Like sometimes, and I hate to say this, sometimes you got to make an example out of people for them to understand, for everybody else to understand, this ain't the game to play. You playing the wrong game. You bark on the wrong tree, bro. But it's not my job to tell you. In my cousin's situation, it's not his job to say, hey, look, like, y'all barking up the wrong tree. You know that. It's not his job to say that. He did the best he could and just, like, let the situation be what it was going to be. But how many people are like that? How many people don't let it go, and they get treated some type of way by people who are emotional about something, and then they get emotional about something, and now there's two sets of emotional people that have something to get off their chest or something to prove when really it ain't even nothing to begin with. Right? I tell people all the time, hey, look, if you go say something about me and to somebody who knows me, and if you know me and you believe what these other people tell me, then me and you aren't really cool. Because I'm the same all the time. right? And a lot of people that I'm around, the people that I'm around a lot, they're kind of the same way. I don't want to say all the time because I'm not with them all the time, but when they're around me, they solid people. They stand up cats. So if you come to me and say, hey, well, that guy over there that you hang with, he's this, that, and the third. I'd go, well, maybe you did something for him to be that way with you because he ain't that way with me. I do believe in treating everybody different. I do believe that, hey, if you show up and you show up kind of shiesty, then I'm going to treat you shiesty. If you show up cool and you show up as yourself, I'm going to treat you as yourself. I do believe that 100%. But there's people out here getting dropped like in boxes in the ground because emotions get the best of you in the internet, right? You want to seem tough for a bunch of cats that don't know you, or I want to go live out here in front of this dude house because he ain't like that until you realize that he like that, and now he gonna go home and you gonna go to the cemetery because you couldn't decide on your own. You know what? It ain't that deep. Let me put the phone away. Let me go holler at it. It really ain't that serious. Or, and this is what gets me too, the selective energy. Don't pick and choose who you got the energy with. Don't pick the cool guy that you want to make comments about or you want to talk crazy to. But when the guy out here that's dropping people like a bad habit, y'all see him and walk the other way. No. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Because energy isn't dispersed, right? It's transferred. So if you give that energy to the wrong person, they're gonna give it back to you exactly the way you gave it to them, or how they perceive that energy you gave to them. My kinfolk, he don't do nothing. My cousin, he don't do nothing wrong. Like, he be chilling. He stay out the way. But y'all decided to get on the internet and do all this, or get on his phone and do all this, all the fake tough stuff. Y'all know where he at. Y'all know where he at. How many times have y'all seen that? My phone's ringing 100 times about people that are like, man, these people, hey man, what are you talking about? Man, these guys, why y'all even over there? Y'all shouldn't even be over there. I mean, I get it, I understand 100%. But y'all shouldn't even be over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, explain to me why y'all over there. Because y'all are where y'all aren't supposed to be, around people y'all not supposed to be around, and y'all know exactly why. So if something goes wrong, nobody's surprised. Nobody's surprised. Like, this, and at the end of the day, like, not even is nobody surprised, it's expected. Hey, if you can't tell people, hey, when I see you, it's going to be this. Because when you see me, ta-da, it's showtime. That, I don't believe that I'm like the craziest person in the world to think that. Like, I just don't. I don't believe that, like, I have like this like obscene thought process and everybody's on a different page than me. I just don't think that. Like, I really don't. Right? Like, I don't. You know, I wish everybody would just be themselves and they're gonna be all right. There's plenty of money to get around. Y'all would rather be known for not doing nothing to people y'all said you're gonna do something to, rather than like letting stuff that don't matter not matter. Go get you some bread. It's weird. It's weird the level of energy we'll give to people that like don't matter. Right? Like, on whatever the reason. Like, there's certain people that we just give energy to for nothing. We allow certain people access to us for nothing that really don't matter. Like, I talk to people all the time and they be like, man, I feel a way about so and so, and then they go, well, what happened? Hi, it ain't important. Well, if it's not important, then you shouldn't feel a way. I don't understand it, but I digress. You know, I digress. But like I said in the last video, right? Sometimes, some of y'all need y'all ass whooped, for real. That's really what needs to happen. Like, drag you outside, hands and feet, run your ass down the street type ass whooping. Because some of y'all be playing with fire for real. And it's not for me to tell you that you're playing with fire. And it ain't for nobody else to tell you you playing with fire. If you respect everybody the way that you want them to respect you, you'll never have to worry about playing with fire. Ever. Take it from me. I'm a fireman. So, at the end of the day, like, Just like energy, negative energy is transferred. Respect is also energy. It's also transferred. As grown men or grown ups, if we can be able to reciprocate a situation and sit down, have a conversation, get to the bottom of it. Even if we agree to disagree, it ain't got to be nothing extra. What's the extra for? Why extra? Some people have tried so hard to remake their life into what they want it to be, and the last thing they ever want to do is to revert back to being something that they disliked, or something that they worked so hard to get away from, and they supposed to relapse on that entire movement of themselves because of you, because you think that like they this or that, or because they won't respond to you a certain way, they this, they that. I have more respect for the people that tell you, man, it's not that big of a deal, let y'all have it, than the people who react to it. Why? Because the people who usually let you let that comment go, or let you make these comments, let it roll, they usually the ones that got something going on for themselves. Usually. The guys that's always ready to go, this and third, them dudes ain't got nothing going for them. Facts. I don't give a fuck who said it. They ain't got nothing going for them. Why? Because if they had something to lose, genuinely to lose, they wouldn't be worrying about trying to show off to y'all, the peanut gallery that don't matter, that don't be outside, that don't even hang with these people, that they about that action. Period. Point blank period. So, yeah. Like, it's like there's so many different ways to handle people who try to put you in a place of uncomfortability. I'll tell you a quick story. Not really a story time, but quick story. This same cousin, I was at his house not too long ago. Bumped into an old friend of mine. We kicking it, whatever. This old friend happened to ask me for some money later on down the line. He was actually looking to get his life together, whatever. I understand that. As a guy who's had to take some time to try to figure out what he was going to do with his life, I understand. So wherever I can help, I'll help. Anybody who knows me, anybody who's watching this who knows me, I'll tell you. Solid dude, 100%. If I can help you, I'll help you. Give you shoes on my feet, shirt off my back, 100%. I'll figure it out later. Well, for what it seems as though, the homie that I was trying to help, he hit me one day and was like, yo, I'm down bad, I get some change, can you help me? Woo, woo. 100%, bro. Like, I remember being homeless and not having nothing. I remember wishing I had help, somebody that look out for me, whatever the case may be. And so, cool, no problem. Send him some money. Never heard from him since. Now, I could look at that like, man, I'm going to go back over there and it's the principle behind it and I ain't going to let nobody. Look, man, like, I thought about it like that. I really did. I ain't going to lie to you. But the other part of that is, look, bro, like, if you burn the bridge with me over that little bit of money, then I'm cool. I've spent money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was less than $150. It was less than $120. It was like $100, right? For somebody like me who wants to help everybody, if you come to me with an idea that makes sense, if you come to me with, hey, look, listen, let's do this business together. Like, I'm that guy. Hey, bro, like, here, if I can invest with you to help you get going, here. I'm this dude. I'm that dude. People who know me will tell you I'm that dude. So if you burnt that bridge with me over that, you're a fool. But I'm proud of you. But I gave it to you because I wanted to. You didn't take nothing from me. You can't take nothing from me. I'm not that dude. You're not going to take nothing from me. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure he know that. But I helped you because I wanted to. You took advantage. Cool, 100%. Not mad. Again, same thing. I could take that energy and go, you know what? I know where you at. I know exactly where you at. I know where to find you. You ain't hard to find. I ain't hard to find either, though. Cool. But I chose, like, you know what, bro? That $100 just bought you out of my life. I'm cool, bro. And I've made, I don't know, 100 times that since then. This is a couple months ago. So sometimes you got to understand, like, where you stand and stand there. Like, you can't have picks. Like, hey, bro, like, if I rock with you, I'm gonna give you a pass, but I don't rock with you, it's up. Nah, dog, it's not that deep, because the money that you got from me, that bought you out of my life, if I go do something to you, I lose that. The money that I made 100 times over, I lose that. Now who am I mad at? Because I got emotional over money, over like sock money. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? It's flawed logic for me to be emotional enough to go to jail or do something to somebody over sock money that I know is sock money. Just to prove a point. Just to kind of like be like, hey man, like I'm still that. Nah, bro, I'm cool. Think what you want to think about me. It's cool. Don't worry about it. What I want to do is continue to do what I'm doing for the people that look out and the people who matter. I'm gonna keep rocking for the people that matter. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm ever in a situation again to help you, you'll be homeless before I help you. I was homeless as a kid. I didn't have nothing as a kid. We're grown now. You're an adult. So if you ever asked out as an adult, guess what, bro? You just gonna be asked out when it comes to me. That's facts. We always have a choice. There's always a choice. Whether we want to acknowledge the choice, whether we like the choice or not, we got a choice. Everybody won't be you. You can't treat everybody as you. That's the hardest lesson I've had to learn. It's the hardest lesson I've ever had to learn. Because when you're a genuine person, like my kinfolks, like maybe my bro Max, like they genuine dudes. When they genuine dudes, people tend to take advantage because you're doing it because you want to. You help because you want to. You look out because you want to. Like, you know what you're supposed to do, and you do it. But it also makes you food to people who are leeches. It makes you food to people who are sharks out here, and all they're looking for is a quick come up. And it's cool, but you just got to learn how to handle it accordingly, right? When you handle it accordingly, you ain't got to worry about it. When I'm 100, I ain't got to worry about it. Well, if I'm not being myself is when I got to worry about it. So the people that are winning, they keep winning, and that's why. That's why. It's not the principle that makes me be away. It's the principle that keeps me baseline. It keeps me level. It keeps me where I need to be, where I can function efficiently and as myself. I ain't got to look in the mirror and second guess who I'm looking at. I don't know exactly who I'm looking at 100% of the time. My kinfolk, me and him had a brief conversation about it. You know what's crazy? My cousin say, well, no, my cousin made the post. My homie Max hit me and was like, yo, hey, that'd be a dope episode. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I just thought it was interesting. It was something that had been sitting on me because I bumped into a couple other issues since then where it's kind of been the same way. People think that they can say some stuff and get under your feathers and ruffle your feathers, and it's like, say, dog, like, what? Like, you ain't, like, you know, you ain't even been outside for real. You got to be outside. Like, you got to put, I got to have a certain level of respect for you to ruffle my feathers. And truth be told, I'm 35, feathers ain't been ruffled yet. So, you know, it's a hard pill to swallow for people when they realize that they think you're a certain way, and then they realize that you're really the opposite way. It ruffles people's feathers when they understand they can't ruffle yours. It ruffles their feathers when like tucking their tail ain't a you thing. It's a they thing. Because they thought that the way that you reacted to things and the way that you talked to people meant that you were a softer person and you were a target or you were food out here. When in all reality, like, not all cannibals are loud. Not all sharks are loud. A lot of sharks just mind their business. They hanging out, they relaxing until it's time to eat. Or until they're faced with a threat, in which case sharks gonna do what sharks gonna do. So with that being said, man, hey, watch your back at all times, man. Everybody that's your friend might not always be your friend. More importantly than anything else, man, love your people that love you. Audit your friends, bro. Always take accountability of your friends. Figure out who's who, right? You'll never be caught off guard. And never, ever, ever, ever be caught off guard. This is friends, this is family, this is acquaintances, this is whatever. Everybody that's with you ain't for you. Understand that. I'll say it again. Everybody that's with you ain't for you. And if you ain't heard it before, you heard it from me. This your boy Feast. I'm out.